Do you ever have one of those moments when you think, I know, I've got nothing to do, I'm going to revisit an old game. A game that I used to be really good at. I never completed this game, but I used to be really good at it. So you go to the trouble of getting your Commodore 64 out, getting the game, loading it up, and playing it. And you realise, well, not so much realise, you discover that you're no longer any good at it. Hi, and welcome back to another Retro Ramble. And today I'm going to be talking about just such a game, Head Over Heels on the Commodore 64. Head Over Heels was first released by Ocean Software in 1987. And in the game, you play as two dogs, Head and Heels. Head, who can jump really high but can't move very fast, and Heels, who's the exact opposite, can move really fast but can't jump very high. And it's your job to get Head to Heels to become Head Over Heels and save you, escape from the tyrannous Blacktooth Empire, as the opening screen shows you. It was unique in that you flitted between the two characters to complete certain puzzles. I tended to get Head as far as I could get him, press F1, and take on Heels and get him as far as he could get. And as I've admitted already, I'm not very good at it anymore, so I can't even get to a point where Head meets Heels. I'm going to show you now. Yeah, I suck. Big time. I'm finding that a lot more recently when I come back to old games who I haven't played for quite some time, that I'm not as good as I used to be. But Head Over Heels has a lot of fond memories for me. I first played it on the Amstrad CPC 464, which a lot of people view as the definitive 8-bit version. And it was my mate Dave who introduced me to the game, and he was a demon at it. He was fantastic. He could get quite a way through the game. Much better than I was. But I bet today if I put him in front of it, he wouldn't even be able to get Head Over Heels either. Oh god. No, it's a fantastic little game. It's wonderful. Head Over Heels on the Commodore 64 for me, stands out for a number of reasons. First off, it was the first version of the game that I personally owned. Having been bought a Commodore 64 for Christmas in 1989, it was bought for me by my mum in the summer of 1990 when the game was reissued on the Budget Hit Squad label. Secondly, it had a wonderful loader. It used the famous Ocean Loader tune, and for those of you who don't know it or just want to have a listen, here's a chunk of it for you now. The main thing that makes the C64 version stand out for me, well, how can I explain this? Do you know what? I can't. I'm going to tell you and I'm going to show you. So, I start playing it on the Commodore 64 25 years ago, and I'm rambling around in the game, and I get to this one bit where you're in a room and you've got to jump these two boxes that are stacked next to each other, and then this happens. I loved it. I couldn't stop laughing, so I did it again. And in a lot of ways, I suppose, this kind of gave the game a whole new meaning to me, because I just couldn't stop doing it just because it made me laugh that much. I mean, I even have the sound effect as a not as a ringtone, as a text noise on my mobile. And it isn't the first time I've done it. I actually made it as a MP3 purely for this video several weeks ago, knowing I was going to be doing this video, and then I put it on my phone, and as a text alert, it's fantastic, because you can be mumbling along and all of a sudden ding ding clang ding ding pops up and people just go, what was that? But you do get the odd person that goes, that's head over heels. And that happened to me in Coventry the other weekend. I was standing at a bar in the hotel I was staying at, and the text alert went off and the barman went head over heels, and I'm like, the force is strong with you. When I got my Amiga in 1991, I was intrigued to see what the Amiga version of this game would be like. And it wasn't out at the time, but again, we have the Hit Squad to thank, because I think it was 1993 when they started releasing budget titles for the Amiga. And they were about, I think they were about a £5. I think it was the big selling point on the box, $4.99. Anyway, I digress. So, I got the Amiga version, and, well, I'm going to show you first, and I'll talk about it afterwards. I was a little disappointed. I was expecting something a little bit more polished. At the time, I didn't understand things like, or I didn't realise, would be fairer to say, that this game had been made at the same time in 1987 and the Amiga was in its infancy. So I played it and I enjoyed it. It's not as forgiving as the C64 version. In fact, I would go as far as to say it is harder. You can die quite easy, which brings me to my next point. With it being an Amiga version, I thought it would have a more humorous version of the famous death noise on the Commodore 64. As you've already seen, the music at the start of the game is different. I started to worry, so I got to a point where I knew I could die. This point here. As you've just heard. That isn't particularly funny. Let's just hear it again. That's not a death noise. That's the noise Aurak made when Avon turned him off. No! That's not fair! And I can remember 17-year-old me being rather irked at this whole, that's not fair! No, I want something silly. I want the little ding ding clang ding ding. But no, as I said, I get Aurak's shutdown noise from Blake 7. And there you have it, head over heels on the Commodore 64. If you'd like to see all the gameplay footage I captured, follow the link below in the description and you can go to my channel and watch it to your heart's content and truly see how rubbish I am at this game. Speaking of being rubbish at games, brings me quite nicely to next week's video. I learnt this week that Retro Games Party's very own James was never particularly good at a game on the Amiga. This game in particular was released in 1992 on the Ocean Software label. I, on the other hand, am really good at it, and I still am really good at it because I play it a lot. But James always said to me, it's too hard, it's difficult, he doesn't understand it. I understood it perfectly well. I really enjoy it. I don't think it's hard. I might go as far as to say that it's a bit of a pushover. See you next week. Bye. Thought I'd sneak that one in at the end. I'm really going this time. Bye bye. And don't forget, if you haven't already, press the subscribe button so you can get notifications and whatnot about our latest videos. And if you've already done that, you're not off the hook. Down there, that thumbs up thing, give it a press, give us a thumbs up, you know you want to. And also, leave a comment, start a discussion, tell us what you think, tell us if we've got anything wrong. Because it's not us that's wrong, it'll be you that's wrong, but, you know, it's a free country, you can say what you want. Bye.